This video is about the dreaded number 40. And because next year I will be reaching that big round number, I've got a lot to say and to share with younger people or someone who was in similar position like me 20 years ago. Because I believe that the age of 40 is where generations meet, change, transform. And you have to make a decision what to do next. Because a lot of people, when they reach that age, they go through what's called a middle life crisis, which over the past year or so, I thought I'm starting to exhibit too. And when that happens, you have two choices. You can either become depressed, sad, and wallow in despair, or you can reinvent yourself and recreate your life. You can start over. I've seen a lot of men and women after they reach 40 to begin a completely new life, start a new hobby, and maybe even come back to doing things that they've gave up when they were in their 20s or 30s. And I love that. That's partly what I'm doing. I'm partly on a journey of rediscovering my younger self who gave up on certain dreams and ambitions and now decided to bring them back. For anyone who is in their 20s and listening to this, I'm going to start by talking about taking care of your body. When I was a teenager and in my early 20s, I was a very, very active young man. I played lots of sports and I was very fit. I was so fit, in fact, that I could have eaten fast food all the time, chocolates and sugary treats all the time, and not get fat and not see any negative impact on my body. So, very handy and very cool. I was eating a lot of sugar and fats in the past. And I thought that would stay like that forever. Unfortunately, as I crossed the barrier of 30 years old, things started to change. And because I was smoking at the time, I didn't notice a dramatic change, but once I quit smoking, the change started to show up more often and more significantly. I saw getting a little bit more round on my face, and I also noticed a bit more here in the belly. And I'm not overweight in any stretch, by any stretch of imagination, but I've gotten a little uncomfortable with the idea of not being that fit anymore. And as I'm approaching the age of 40, I decided that I will go back to being fitter. If I don't take care of it now, it will probably get much worse to the point of no return, where I will have so much belly fat that losing it will require extraordinary amount of effort. On top of that, when you are in your 30s and then 40s, your body doesn't recover as fast after exercise, and it takes much longer to get back in shape, and it's much easier to get injured. Your knees or your spine can be sore all the time, your muscles feel exhausted, and you can tear a muscle or a ligament, and it's going to take you longer to recover. You're going to have to stop working out and stop the momentum that you're building when you are trying to go back to being fit. So one thing is to take care of your body over the 2 decades before you reach 40. And then when you do reach 40, start working out as soon as possible before it's too late and your body doesn't want or allow you to move anymore. That when you lose mobility and strength and the desire to do anything. When you're older, your political views might change, the way you look at life and what you need. For example, when I was younger, I wanted to drive fast cars. I loved Ferraris and Maseratis and Lamborghinis. And as I'm crossing that threshold, the 40 threshold, I don't feel impressed by those things anymore. And even though I still love cars, I'm a petrol head, and I admire a beautiful car passing by, I don't feel like this is something that not only impresses me, but also that I need in my life. And even if I made the money to drive one, I would probably do it just for the experience, but that wouldn't need to fill some kind of hole that I have in my heart. Because over the past few years, I actually healed the hole in my heart, and I found out what's more important. And as I'm getting older also, I'm starting to think about family more. I used to be a very individualistic, selfish, and egocentric person, where now I'm starting to get more responsible for others and think about my legacy and future, whether I'm going to have kids and what will they think to of me, and also to leave something behind for them. I'm thinking about community that I live in and people around me, my friends, my family, other families. All that comes when you get older. You start being a little bit more selfless, and you start thinking about charity and the future, and really taking responsibility for not just yourself but also others. And I like that because it makes you what people call more mature. That's what maturing is. And also, lastly, I want to talk about mortality a lot, because when you reach 40, you think about death more. And I particularly think about death more because my father passed away because of cancer at the age of 44. And I've been thinking about that since. My father was 44, I was 22 when he passed. And that event had a huge impact on my life and has been reminding me that we all are going to die, and that we have to live the life to the fullest instead of feeling sorry for ourselves when we get older. Because not everyone has the privilege to grow old. So maybe it's important to appreciate the fact that we are getting older. And I'm going to end on this. It's important to appreciate that you're getting older. So if you feel like life is running away and it's about to end, look at it from a different perspective. On this channel, in the background, you will see there is a beautiful picture of a sun over the surface of the sea. I wanted to leave it vague because it looks either as like a sunset or a sunrise. And in my opinion, when you reach 40, you get to decide whether it is a sunset and you're starting to pack up and treat this as the beginning of an end, or if it's a sunrise and it's a start of something new that you can appreciate, enjoy, and look forward to.